afternoon and welcome inside Bojangles Coliseum for another edition of Checkers Pregame Live, the final edition throughout the 2024-25 regular season. My name is TJ Chillot, voice of the Charlotte Checkers. Thanks for joining us here today as we get set and ready to go for the final homestand of the regular season. As we know, the Charlotte Checkers have punched their ticket to the postseason. They're going to be competing in this year's Calder Cup playoffs, but they don't know exactly where they will be seated. These final 5 games, including 2 here today and then the 3 to wrap up the regular season, will be huge. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Hershey Bears, who are in first place. We'll talk about them a little bit more, but we've got to focus on the 2 games at hand here this weekend against Utica. Coming in, the Charlotte Checkers won 2 out of their 3 games as part of a 3-3 series on the road. They lost game 1 against Providence 4-0, but they would rally back to knock off Bridgeport, and then a thrilling overtime winner from Brett Chorsky, his first in the American Hockey League, would seal things up for victory for the Charlotte Checkers on Sunday. So the Checkers roll into this one having won 2 of their last 3 games and are looking for more. They're going up against a Utica team that is mathematically eliminated from postseason contention. They're in last place in the North Division, but these 2 teams have played each other twice already this year. They have split 1-1 records, so this is not a team that you want to sleep on. There's plenty of firepower, which we're going to talk about here in just a second on the other side of the ice. So let's go ahead and dive right into my Hendrick Acura keys to the game. This is a massive key to the game segment as we go forward. Number 1, the Checkers have to get out to a lead. When you take a look at this Utica team, when they have the lead going into the second period or going into the third period, they are a dominant team. In fact, when leading after 1, they're 19-5-3-0, and when leading after 2, they are a staggering 21-2-1-0. Not a record that you would expect for a team that is mathematically eliminated from postseason contention. That goes to show you that if Utica gets on top first, they're a very difficult team because of their strong goaltending and big back end. Good defensive play from this team all around. The Checkers have to get out to a lead. They won the last matchup between the 2 teams. They've got to use that momentum, plus the momentum that they have, having won their last 2 games. Roll that forward, get out to a lead, preferably early. Get the crowd into it. It's going to be a great crowd here as the regular season winds down. It's a Saturday, 4 o'clock puck drop. We know what kind of crowds this type of game will bring in. It doesn't matter that it's a non-divisional opponent. It doesn't matter that it's a team that is not in the playoffs that the Checkers are going head-to-head with. It's going to be a big sellout crowd here today. The Checkers need to make sure that they get this crowd involved and get on the board first. They've got to jump out to an early lead. My second Hendrick Acura key to the game, fear the Comets. Much like I talked about there in terms of how this team can clamp down defensively, this is a Comets team that is playing with nothing to lose. There are guys on this roster who are playing for next season, where they're going to slot into the lineup next year. Are they going to be AHL players? Are they going to be possibly NHL players with their NHL affiliate, the New Jersey Devils? Or are they going to be guys that don't play so well here down the stretch and end up in the ECHL? There's a lot riding on the line for this Utica Comets team, despite the fact that they don't have any postseason plans coming forward. That makes them very, very dangerous. If this Charlotte Checkers team decides that they are going to fall back and want to fall asleep in the early part of this game, it could get ugly very, very quick. So that is my second Hendrick Acura key to the game. My third key to the game, make every chance count. This is a dress rehearsal in many ways for a playoff game. Maybe not against the caliber team that you're expecting to run into when you get into the postseason, but in the sense that if you can't make every single chance count now, if you can't bury every opportunity, if you can't play with precision, that's not going to happen in the postseason either. You've got to make sure that you are playing playoff hockey right now. Make sure that you are ready to capitalize on those chances. We've seen it time and time again. It doesn't matter if it's the AHL, the NHL, the NFL, Major League Baseball. It's the teams that when they get opportunities that are presented to them on a silver platter, the ones that make it count are the ones that go the furthest in the postseason. And that's what the Checkers need to do here. So if they get a breakaway, bury it. If they get a 2-on-1, make it count. Those were my Hendrick Acura keys to the game. Make sure you get out to a lead, fear the Comets, and make every chance count. As we talk about some players to watch in this series, we'll start on the Utica Comets side. I'm keeping an eye on Ryan Schmelzer. This is a guy who plays on their top line, and he has been solid this season. He's been very hot as of late. I'm also keeping an eye on Max Willman. The former Lehigh Valley Phantom forward is the reigning AHL Player of the Week after churning out a great performance. Willman comes in to this game having 10 points in his last 5 games, including 4 goals and 6 assists. So this forward crew that Utica brings into this one, they are a little bit top-heavy with the likes of Schmelzer, Hallinan, as well as Willman. Those are the guys that I'm keeping my eye on, as well as always the goaltenders. We'll see who gets the start here today. It could be either Isaac Poulter or Nico Dawes. Both of them very bright futures ahead, whether it be here in the American Hockey League or potentially in the NHL with the New Jersey Devils. So those are some players that I'm keeping my eye on here today and tomorrow for this Utica Comets team. As we flip the page over to the Charlotte Checkers, I'm keeping my eye on all the newcomers for this Charlotte Checkers team. We saw some great things out of them this past week during that 3-3. Liam Miklinski, in his very first professional game, 2-point night with a goal and an assist. We talked about Brett Chorsky earlier with that game-winning goal in overtime. When you add in Eamon Powell as well as Colton Heward, those are the 4 new guys. 3 of the 4 have already earned points in their American Hockey League debuts, having only played in 2 or fewer games. This is exactly that type of youth movement that is filling the void for this Charlotte Checkers team that is still without several big and important players. 4, in fact. 2 on the blue line, in Megna and Kierstead, and 2 forwards in Rasmus Asplund and Jesse Puljarvi, both of whom are still up on recall with the Florida Panthers at the NHL level. They're also doing a fantastic job up there. We heard from head coach Paul Maurice not too long ago talking about how he enjoys watching Jesse Puljarvi, that big body, getting pucks on net. We also saw some great things out of Rasmus Asplund. He was everywhere on the ice, making every opportunity count. Same thing for Jacob Megna, who's played the most in terms of total ice time at the NHL level. So with those guys gone, who's going to step up and fill the void? You can't always count on John Leonard, Justin Sordiff, Kyle Criscolo, Will Lockwood. You have to get that depth scoring. We were getting a little bit of it from guys like Zabade earlier this week and last week going into the last homestand against the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. This is a team that needs to make sure that all 4 lines and their defense is getting points, and I am looking squarely at the newcomers. And another guy that I'm watching, a name I've already dropped, John Leonard. He has 34 goals on the season, is just 2 away from tying Zach Boychuk for the most in a single season in Charlotte Checkers history. 36 is the number. Can he get there this weekend? We've seen him churn out a number of multiple goal games this season, including a hat trick right here in this building back on December the 21st. Can he get it done in front of the home fans, or is he going to come up empty and have to try for it on the road series that's coming up? I want to flip the page and talk to you a little bit about those games coming up. Not only do we have tomorrow's game, which we'll dive into and give you all the details about here in a second, but what do the Checkers have to see on the schedule after this Utica series? Well, they've got another 3-3 to wrap up. Well, it's technically a 3-4, forgive me, to wrap up the regular season. April 16th on the road at Hartford, the 18th at Springfield, and they will wrap up the regular season on the 19th against Springfield as well. So that's what the Checkers have to contend with after this Utica series. Tomorrow, the Charlotte Checkers, right here in this building. It's Fan Appreciation Day. It's a day that I look forward to. It's almost my favorite promo. It's kind of hard to beat Pooch Party, I'm not going to lie. It's a little hard to beat that, but we are giving out a Trevor Carrick bobblehead to the first 1,000 fans who walk through the door. So make sure you get your tickets. Head to charlottecheckers.com. Get your tickets for Fan Appreciation Day. It's also Chubby's birthday. We're going to have a lot of fun for the family. Make sure you head on out to the Coliseum. And you know what? Don't even bother with just coming out tomorrow. There are still $11 tickets for sale for today's game. Head to charlottecheckers.com. Be here for 811 Day as we celebrate, thanks to our friends at Piedmont Natural Gas, with $11 tickets. Make sure, by the way, a lot of people ask, what is 811 Day? Call before you dig. Call 811. And of course, if you're a Piedmont Natural Gas customer, ask how you can help share the warmth by rounding up on your energy bills to the nearest dollar. For a maximum of $12 a year, you can help those in need pay their energy bills. I know it says share the warmth in the title, but that is a year-long process because everybody knows how sweltering these Charlotte summers can be. And there's plenty of folks out there who cannot pay their electricity bills and their heating and cooling bills. So make sure you ask about that if you are a Piedmont customer. So today it is 811 Call Before You Dig Day, presented by Piedmont Natural Gas. Tomorrow, Novant Health, they present that awesome Trevor Carrick bobblehead for fan appreciation. Head to charlottecheckers.com to get your tickets. So, Charlotte Checkers, they come into this one with a record of 40, 21, 3-3. They are taking on the Utica Comets, 29, 30, 6-2 on the year. What exactly is at stake in today's game? Well, let's talk about the Hershey Bears and the clinching scenarios across the league. Hershey, if you look down at the bottom of your screen right there, they can clinch the Atlantic Division title tonight with a win at Lehigh Valley. But they also need a regulation loss from the Charlotte Checkers to go with it. So if the Charlotte Checkers can even force overtime in this one, even if they don't get the W, if they can force overtime, a little bit of a stay of execution there before we name the Atlantic Division crown and name the title holders, the Checkers still have it. It is still within reach. As we take a look at the standings in general, right now the Checkers are in second place. And for those of you who are new and don't understand necessarily how the playoff structure is, let me hit you with it right here. So, seeds number 1 and number 2 will get an automatic bye in the first round. 3 and 4 will be the host teams, or the teams with home ice advantage, for the first round, while 5 and 6 will be the teams that travel the most in that opening round. Now, the opening round is a best-of-3 series. In the case of the Charlotte Checkers, they can finish no worse than 4th place. So they have 2 options for the opening round. 1, either they're going to be on a bye, or 2, they're going to play host for 3 games. Why is it 3 games? Simply because of geography and where the Charlotte Checkers are located. If this was a scenario where it was Hershey and Lehigh Valley, 2 teams that are only separated by about an hour and 45 minutes worth of a drive, they would play 1-1-1. But since the Charlotte Checkers are 8.5, almost 9-hour drive away from that, it's a flight. That means the Checkers will have all 3 games here at Bojangles Coliseum. All 3 games, if necessary. Could only be a 2-game series if one team sweeps. But of course, the Checkers are aiming for that second spot. They're really aiming for the Atlantic Division crown, first place, and earning a bye through the first round. So what we know for sure, the Checkers can finish no lower than 4th. What we know for sure, they can still win the division. What we know for sure, that if the Checkers do fall to 3rd or 4th place, their opponents would be Lehigh Valley or Springfield. There is a scenario where the Charlotte Checkers, who wrap up the regular season with the Springfield Thunderbirds, also play them in the first round of the playoffs just a handful of days later. That scenario is very, very real. So again, we know the Checkers could earn a bye. We know that they could still win the division. We know that they will, if they don't get one of those things, host a team, and it will be Lehigh Valley or Springfield here. That's what the math tells us. There is no way that the Checkers could end up hosting Wilkes-Barre-Scranton, let's say. There's no way they could end up hosting Providence in that first round. Now, if the Checkers do end up getting the bye, because the second series is a best-of-5, the way it would be broken down is the team that gets home ice advantage will have 3 home games in that best-of-5 series, with the visiting team getting 2 home games. Of course, that 5th game and that 4th game are as necessary, if necessary. The Charlotte Checkers would then open on the road, because if they finish 1 or 2, they will be the higher seed against who they're playing in the second round. So that will determine that they will start the season, the round on the road with 2 games and then come home for potentially anywhere from 1 to 3 based on how it all broke out. I hope that wasn't too confusing for you. I don't have my whiteboard here to kind of draw and give everything to you, but I hope that wasn't too confusing. We're going to find out more as the season goes on, as the week goes on, because this regular season will wrap up 1 week from tomorrow. Charlotte Checkers, Utica Comets, 2-game series right here at Bojangles Coliseum. It all kicks off in just about 2 hours from now, less than 2 hours from now. Make sure you get your tickets. Head to charlottecheckers.com. That will do it for the final regular season edition of Checkers Pregame Live. I have to take a moment, thank everybody who has helped me get this program off the ground this season, whether it's Zach Harvey or Mari Murby, who are working in our creative services team, who helped us with the camera, get the lighting right, and to do all of our dress rehearsals and get everything going. Thank you so, so much for helping us get this off the ground. Whether it was Miles Conrad, who joined me right here behind this desk several times this year, as well as preparing so many graphics, so many videos, and in the cases like today, also behind the camera producing. Miles, thank you so much. To Justice Wallace, another producer and another gentleman who helped lug the equipment, set things up, same thing as Miles. He's been here putting tables together, putting chairs together. Justice, thank you so much. And of course, to you for tuning in, whether you watched for 1 second, 1 minute, or 100 hours. Thank you so much for joining us on Checkers Pregame Live. Right now, the postseason, we don't know who we're playing. We don't know if we're home. We don't know when the games will be. So I can't commit to doing a Saturday Checkers Pregame Live for any postseason games. We will let you know if we have the chance to do it. You'll see it out there on social media. So thank you all for tuning in. Checkers, Comets coming up in just a bit. It's a huge weekend here as we say thanks to all the fans, starting with 811 Call Before You Dig Day. My name is TJ Chillot, voice of the Charlotte Checkers. Thank you all.